Hi, I'm Steve Leake, author of the College Prep Coach program. I'm here to tell you the good news about the SAT and ACT. Sure, they're long and tedious and they look hard, but you know what? If you can see through the camouflage, they're very simple. Hold on, that sounds too good to be true, right? Well, let me demonstrate. Let's start with a math question because I know a lot of you are scared of math. Here it is. In Ohm's law, the relation between voltage, current, and resistance is given by the formula E is equal to IR, where E is voltage in watts, I is current in amperes, and R is resistance in ohms. Is your head spinning yet? Don't worry. Here's the question. If the voltage is 20 watts and the current is 5 amperes, what is a resistance in ohms? Well, you have the formula, so you just plug in the values. You get 20 for E equals 5 for I times what? That's it. The entire question comes down to what times 5 is 20. One multiplication step. I'll let you finish the problem by yourself. Here's an even harder looking one that turns out to be just as simple. Suppose I asked you to find the perimeter of an oval or elliptical NASCAR racetrack that was 5 miles long and 3 miles wide. You might stare at me like I was crazy. Okay, but suppose I told you the formula for the perimeter of an ellipse is pi over 2 times the square root of 2 times L squared plus W squared, where L is the length and W is the width of the ellipse. Still afraid? Well, I gave you the formula. All you have to do is plug in the 5 for L and 3 for W. Let's do it. 5 squared is 25. 3 squared is 9. 25 plus 9 is 34. 2 times 34 is 68. So, pi over 2 times the square root of 68. You're done. That was based on a real test question. All we did was simple arithmetic. It looked like an Algebra 2 question, but it wasn't. That's because they gave us the formula. All we did was plug in values and do simple arithmetic. How about a grammar problem? I know a lot of you think you're bad at grammar, but if you're an average student, guess what? You're an expert on the grammar on the SAT and ACT. Why? Because they test the basics, stuff you've been using every day all your lives. Check this out. If I asked you what the relationship between gerunds and dependent and independent clauses is, you might look at me as if I was from Mars. But instead, suppose I said, which of these is right? Going to the park dash a great idea, or going to the park was a great idea? No brainer, right? Well, that's a typical question on the ACT or SAT. They don't ask you to state and interpret rules of grammar. They just ask which sentence is right, the kinds of sentences you use every day. How about a science question that you would see on the ACT? I know a lot of you are scared of science. Here you go. The relationship between pressure, heat, and volume is given by Boyle's law, which is demonstrated in this graph. Making you nervous? Here's the question. What happens to the pressure as the heat increases? Well, as the heat goes up, the pressure goes up. That's a typical science question on the ACT, and yes, it is that simple. Did you notice how all these questions seemed hard at first? They looked and sounded hard. But in the end, they were pretty darn simple. These tests are simple. You'll hear me say that over and over again. Simple intellectual skills that you perfect with a simple approach and practice. It's like the mental equivalent of sports. In sports, you learn basic moves, a basic strategy, and then you practice, peak, and perform. Standardized tests are just the same. That's why we call our program the College Prep Coach. Now, the important materials you receive with this program include 3 DVDs, an official guide to the SAT, an official guide to the ACT, and a College Prep Coach manual. The content of the program consists of 2 parts. The first part is contained in this disc, Disc 1. It includes 5 content chapters. The first 4 chapters cover our approach to all parts of the SAT and the ACT. The 5th chapter deals with some extras. The second part of the program is contained on Disc 2 and Disc 3. Disc 2 is a review of test questions from the official guide to the SAT. Disc 3 is a review of test questions from the official guide to the ACT. By the way, these guides are the only books you can buy that contain real SATs and real ACTs, and there's nothing better than practicing on real tests. So, here's how to use this program. Step 1. View the first 4 chapters from beginning to end. It's better not to skip around because they're arranged to build on each other. But if you're in a rush, you can limit yourself to the first chapter, which is an overview of the whole program. You can pause and replay sections of the DVD as you wish. You can also refer to the manual, which closely follows the DVD. Step 2. Go to the official guide for the test you're most interested in. Sit down and take the entire first test in the guide by yourself. You don't have to do it all at once. You should time yourself, though. But if you want to take 5 more minutes per section, that's okay. It won't hurt for practice purposes. Later on, you'll want to time yourself strictly. Step 3. Use the guide to check and grade the test. Don't write in the correct answers. When you're done, go back and review your errors. Try to get them right on the second try. You'll be amazed how many you will get right. This is a great lesson. It shows how many points you tend to lose with careless errors. Taking real tests for practice and reviewing them is the best practice you can do. Step 4. Go to Disc 2 or 3 to review with me the test you just took. Step 5. Take another practice test in the official guide. Again, check it and review it. Now you're ready to go in and take the real thing. I guarantee you will already be a much better test taker. If you want to do more practice tests and review them before the real thing, be my guest. The more you practice and review, the better you'll do. Step 6. There's a step 6? Sure. Step 6 is to repeat the entire process. That's because you won't take the SAT or ACT just once. You'll ideally take it several times. The more you practice and the more times you take the tests, the higher you will score. One of the nice things about this program is you can use it over and over and over again. So please do that. Your higher scores will be your reward. Another nice thing about this program is that you can sit down in the comfort of your living room and watch it, maybe even with your dad or mom. They'll learn a lot about the tests and be able to relate to what you're going through with the tests a lot better. And who knows, maybe they'll be able to help you with the process. Dad or mom, if you're watching, it's a lot less scary than you might think. Good luck with your practice and on the real thing. I wish you great success on these tests, in college and beyond. Please let us know how you like the program and how you do on the tests by going to our website and leaving us comments at collegeprepcoach.net. Remember, practice, peak, and perform.